This is how strong people accidentally slow their progress. They want more flexibility, so they add extra stretching sessions. But real flexibility training isn't light. It uses load. It makes your muscles work. It makes you tired. Now you've added more stress to your body without changing how you recover. So progress slows instead of speeding up. After years of coaching at a high level, I believe there are only 3 ways to build strength and flexibility at the same time that actually work. In this video, I'll show you the fastest way to improve flexibility without losing your strength. Most strong people run into 2 problems when they try to add flexibility. First is recovery. Real flexibility training puts load on the muscles and joints, just like strength training. But most people don't adjust their training split to allow for that recovery. So strength gains stall, flexibility barely improves, or they end up injured. And the second is time. They either try to stretch at the end of a workout when they're tired, so it gets rushed or skipped, or they add extra sessions to their week, which cuts into their lifestyle too much to sustain. When I got out of the army at age 34, my body was wrecked. I was stiff everywhere, hips, backs, shoulders. Years of deployments, heavy pack marches, and punishing infantry training had taken their toll. I was still mentally tough, but physically, I couldn't move the way I wanted to. And when I started chasing calisthenics seriously, it became painfully obvious. I didn't lack effort, I lacked mobility. The positions I needed to get into just weren't there. So I did what I'd always done when I hit a wall. I went all in. I sought out world-class flexibility coaches, I committed fully, and this wasn't gentle stretching on a mat. This was loaded stretching, end range contractions, high effort work, the kind that leaves you shaking and sweating after a session. Now, at the same time, I was doing serious strength training because I didn't want to choose, I wanted both. So I split my day in 2, strength training in the mornings and flexibility in the afternoon. 2 sessions a day, 5 to 6 days a week, and both demanded real recovery. This wasn't strength and then a relaxing stretching session later. It was strength and then another full training session. And I refused to back off because every part of me believed that if I just pushed harder, I'd get there faster. But I paid the price. I was exhausted all day, completely flat. My nervous system was fried from the moment I woke up, and it started affecting everything. My brother Yanni was getting pissed off at me, not because he didn't support me, but because I had no energy left for anything else. We'd sit down for meetings, and I wasn't present. I was just dragging myself through the day, mentally slow and physically drained. And we were trying to grow a business, Unity Gym, and I was barely able to contribute properly because I was spending hours every day trying to solve my own body's problems. There was friction between us, real friction. He couldn't understand why I just wouldn't back off, and I couldn't accept that I had to choose between strength and flexibility. So I reached out to the coaches I was working with and I asked them the obvious question: how do I combine this? How can I train strength and flexibility without destroying myself? And I got the same answer from everyone. My strength coaches said, I'm a strength coach, I can't advise you on flexibility. My flexibility coaches said, I'm a flexibility coach, I can't advise you on strength. No one had a solution. So the first phase of this process was pure experimentation. I just kept doing both, 2 sessions a day, morning and afternoon, and the results were undeniable. I was getting stronger and I was getting more flexible. Even Yanni noticed, but it was just unsustainable. I'll never forget Yanni standing there, shaking his head at me and half laughing, because everything he'd ever learned said that you don't mix flexibility and strength training like that, that one would compromise the other. But he couldn't argue with the results that I was getting. And soon the other coaches at Unity Gym started joining in. For about 6 months, all of us were doing it, including Yanni. Strength in the morning, flexibility in the afternoon. And we were making incredible physical progress, but it was killing us. We were exhausted all the time. Our energy was gone and our business started suffering because we were spending hours training and barely had the capacity to work. And eventually Yanni had enough. He put his foot down and said, we can't do this anymore. The business needs that afternoon time and we need to focus. But I wasn't willing to give up on my flexibility training. I just couldn't accept going backwards. So I tried something new. And this is the second phase of this whole story. I started combining everything into one long session. So strength first, then flexibility after. And it worked, technically, but the sessions were brutal, long, draining, mentally exhausting, and none of the other coaches wanted to do it with me. It was just too much. And the tension between Yanni and I got worse. I was spending 3 hours a day training inside one 8-hour workday. He was furious, and honestly, I understand why now. But I was more frustrated than anyone. I was doing everything right, I was working harder than ever, and there was still no sustainable way to build strength and flexibility at the same time. And that frustration is what led us to the breakthrough. Out of pure necessity, I changed one thing. Instead of finishing my strength training and then doing flexibility, I started doing flexibility between my strength training sets. So instead of doing a set of handstand push-up work, then resting for 2 minutes and then doing a set of pull-ups, I do handstand push-ups and then flexibility work, and then pull-ups and then flexibility work again. Immediately, my training time was cut in half. I was getting both done in the same session without extending the session time. And something even more important happened. I started recovering better. I wasn't wrecked all day anymore. Now, around that same time, we had a really good sports physiotherapist who was training at Unity Gym with us and working out of a clinic that we had there. And he was watching what I was doing. And he'd step in occasionally and say things like, hey, you know, if you stretch this area instead of that area between these exercises, you won't interfere with the muscles you're about to use. He helped refine it. Upper body strength paired with lower body flexibility, and lower body strength paired with upper body flexibility. Now recovery wasn't compromised at all. And that's when everything changed. Yanni started doing it again. The coaches started doing it. And eventually we rolled it out across the entire gym. Members who had been strong for years but stiff started becoming flexible. People who thought they didn't have time suddenly did. Strength went up, flexibility went up with it, and all in the same 60-minute session. That was the birth of the Unified Movement System, aka UMS, that we use today. And it proves something we'd learned the hard way. You don't need more sessions. You need the right structure. And looking back now, we can see something clearly that we couldn't see at the time. In hindsight, there are 3 distinct ways to combine strength and flexibility in the same workout. And each one exists for a different person at a different stage. The first method prioritizes strength. This is where Yanni and I are now. We already built a high level of flexibility. We don't want to lose it. We're happy to maintain it and even improve it slowly. But the priority is building maximal strength and muscle without sacrificing the range that we've earned. The second method builds strength and flexibility together. This is for people with limited time, people who want the biggest return from every workout, and this is the standard option that we do for most people inside the UMS online coaching, because they want to get stronger and more flexible at the same time. And they're limited on time, they don't want to have to choose one or the other, they want both rising together. And the third method prioritizes flexibility. This is for people who feel blocked by their own body. They can't reach deep positions, they can't squat fully, they can't raise their arms overhead without restriction. They can feel that flexibility is the thing holding them back. And this is the method I'm about to show you now. This is the fastest way to increase your flexibility while still building strength at the same time. For this approach, where the goal is to maximize flexibility development, the structure of the workout stays exactly the same as the balanced approach. You're still pairing upper body strength with lower body flexibility or vice versa. For example, you might do a set of shoulder press, then during your rest period, instead of just resting, you perform middle splits flexibility work. And then you go back to your next upper body strength exercise like pull-ups. And again, during the rest period, you perform middle splits flexibility work. So the structure is identical to the balanced method. But the key difference is what happens before the stretch. Instead of going straight into loaded stretching, you first perform an end range antagonist contraction. For the middle splits, that means contracting the glutes hard in hip abduction. You're actively trying to pull your legs apart using muscle, not gravity. And you contract as hard as you can. Then immediately after that contraction, you go straight into the loaded middle split stretch. And this is where the breakthrough happens. Your body has built-in protective reflexes that prevent you from moving into deeper ranges. When a muscle senses stretch, it automatically contracts to protect itself. This is called the Spindle reflex. It acts like a brake. It's a defensive mechanism to prevent injury. But when you contract the opposing muscle first, you temporarily turn that brake off. In the case of the middle splits, when you contract the glutes hard in abduction, the nervous system reduces its protective tension in the opposing muscles, the adductors. The resistance drops and you gain immediate access to deeper range. Not because the tissue suddenly changed, but because the nervous system stopped blocking you. Then, when you immediately load that new range with a stretch, you teach the body to own it. You convert temporary access into permanent flexibility. That's why this method works so fast. But there is a trade-off. These contractions are not passive. They require real muscular effort. They create real fatigue, and that fatigue interferes with recovery between strength sets, which means that you cannot push your strength training at full capacity. This method is not compatible with advanced overload methods designed to maximize strength. So you're not going to be using things like the 1-5 method, wave loading, rest pause, or aggressive strength supersets. Instead, your strength work becomes simpler. You might use something like 5 sets of 5 reps or 5 sets of 8 to 10 reps. Simple, effective strength training. You'll still gain strength and you certainly won't lose it, just not at the absolute fastest rate possible, because the priority has shifted. Strength is maintained and improved steadily, but flexibility increases rapidly. This is the method you use when flexibility is the bottleneck. So here's exactly what this looks like in a real upper body strength workout, where the goal is to build middle splits flexibility as fast as possible. Your A1 exercise is the barbell shoulder press. You perform your sets as normal. Full effort, full focus. Then, instead of just resting, you move straight into your middle splits work. Your A2 exercise is the butterfly loaded lift and pull down. You sit in the butterfly position with weight loading your knees downward. From there, you actively lift your knees up against the resistance. This contracts the adductors through full range. And then you slowly let the weight pull your knees back down into the stretch. That's 1 rep. And you repeat this for 8 to 10 reps. Each rep does 2 things. The lift fatigues the adductors through contraction, and the descent loads the deeper stretch. And at the bottom of each rep, you contract your glutes hard. So you're actively trying to pull your knees deeper into the stretch using muscular effort. That is what overrides the nervous system's protective reflex. And after 8 to 10 reps, you immediately move into A3, which is the loaded butterfly stretch. So here you relax and let the weight push you deeper into the position. You stay there for about 30 seconds, but periodically you contract the glutes again. Each contraction opens the window slightly more, and each relaxation lets you settle deeper into the new range. Then you return to your next strength exercise. Your A4 exercise is pull-ups, again performed with full intent. And then you move into the next middle splits contraction. For this example, we're going to use the pissing dog knee hinge. This is a more advanced end range contraction. You lift one knee up as high as you possibly can, and then you extend the knee. This increases the lever length, which forces the glutes to contract harder to hold the position. You perform 8 reps on each leg, and then immediately transition into your loaded middle splits stretch. This could be an active middle splits hold, or if you're more advanced, a straddle up to good morning like you see me doing here. Again, you're converting contraction into access, and access into permanent range. This is how you build flexibility fast, without giving up strength, without adding extra sessions, and without increasing total training time. Everything happens inside the same workout, efficient, intentional, and systematic. But eventually, something interesting happens. You reach a point where your flexibility is no longer the limiting factor. You've achieved the range you need. You can squat deep, move freely, access full positions without restriction. At that point, your priority shifts. You don't want to lose flexibility, but your main focus becomes building maximal strength and lean muscle. That's when the third approach becomes the right tool for the job. And that's exactly what I cover in the next video. If you click or tap the screen there, I'll show you how to maintain and even improve flexibility whilst prioritizing maximal strength and muscle growth. And if you want to revisit the balanced approach where strength and flexibility rise together, you can click or tap the screen there, and I'll see you in that next video.